Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, where we talk with local entrepreneurs, share motivation, network with one another, and pick up a tip or two on how not to burn your business to the ground. I'm your host, Spencer Ward. All right, everyone, welcome back to the Idaho Business Podcast. As always, we're sponsored by Health West, great organization, great health group. Give them a Google, find out where they're closest to you, and see how they can serve you and your loved ones. We're also sponsored by my company, New Clean Commercial Cleaning. Give us a call, 208-254-7070, and we'll tell us how we can help you with any of your janitorial needs. If you tell us you heard about us on the podcast, we will offer you, I don't know, maybe a free carpet cleaning, maybe a free tile and grout cleaning. I don't know. Depends on what I'm feeling. But I'm telling you, there's no strings attached. Make it happen. Give us a call. All right. Well, I wanted to talk to you about something that I think we all wrestle with from time to time. Even if we don't admit it out loud, it's that nagging feeling that I'm not doing enough. Maybe you felt it too. You crush a goal, you hit a deal, hit the gym, you spend time with the family, and that inner voice still says, yeah, but you should have done it faster, better, or differently. Don't you hate that? You know, if you've never felt that way, good on you. You know, that's you're healthy. But if you have felt that way, you're still healthy, but you're very normal. We are always our own worst critics. I'll tell you right now, the part of the problem is comparison. We look at others and what they're doing, and we measure ourselves against them. But here's the truth: other people aren't thinking about us nearly as much as we think they are. They've just got their own battles to win, their own insecurities, their own lives to manage. Ed Mylett said, comparison is the thief of joy. The only person you should compare yourself is to the person you were yesterday. I love that. When you're constantly trying to measure your worth against someone else's highlight reel, you always come up short. That is key. It's easy to do in a world of Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. You're seeing everyone's highlight reel. And if you're constantly measuring yourself to them and their wins and their parenting or their business, you're always going to come up short. But if you could zoom out, if you could hit zoom out on their camera, you would see really how much of a mess their life really is. And sometimes it's not that way. You know, all the better for them. I don't wish ill to anyone, but no one's life is as perfect as it looks, especially on camera. Anyways, let's get back to it. I don't want to go on tangents here. I've had a week or even months where I feel like I'm not winning. And when I define winning as only one thing, say business revenue or closing deals, it's easy to feel like I'm a failure. But winning shouldn't be one-dimensional. Winning should encompass all major areas of your life. And we're very bad at this. We get so one-dimensional thinking, oh, you know, I'm an owner of this business. If I'm not crushing sales every day or weekly or whatever it is in your business, that you make it seem right to you, you do feel like you make yourself feel like a failure. But your life encompasses so much more than just your business. Okay, let's talk about those. Raising and connecting with your children, maintaining your physical health. I've talked a lot about that. Guarding your mental well-being, growing your financial strength, nurturing your spiritual foundation. I'm a very all or nothing personality. And I tell you, if I'm doing the routine that I like to do, get up early, go to the gym, get to my office early, spend time, you know, I like to read my scriptures in the morning. I like to do some work on, you know, trying to find companies to buy and studying some training videos and stuff like that. If I do all that, I feel like I can accomplish anything because I am just constantly getting win after win. But it's tough when I get out of that routine and I sleep in, or I'm feeling groggy. Um, it's tough that way. When you start looking at all those areas together, you realize you're probably doing better than you give yourself credit for. Patrick Bet says, puts it like this: most people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 5 to 10 years. If you zoom out, you'll see you're building something greater than just this week's scoreboard. So remember, don't be so hard on yourself. Sometimes we have to give ourselves um, some grace. A lot of the times we need to give ourselves some grace, but also we need to give ourselves permission, especially as business owners. Like, hey, if you don't have a lot going on in a certain week, because other weeks you know you're going to be swamped. But if you don't have a lot going on in a week, and you're like, you know what, I've got certain things managed, and you know what, I don't have a lot going on today. Shoot, if you want to go out and golf or go boating, whatever you want to go hunting, do it in the middle of the day. You have to give yourself permission for that. We've talked about time tracking. Literally put it on your time tracker. I'm going to go hunting. I'm going to go golf from this time to this time. If you do that, then you are giving yourself permission. And then when you overlook that day or that week's progress, then you're like, no, I planned that. I planned to have that that way. And for me, it's better that way. I kind of have to give myself permission, because if not, I feel like I'm a failure. I'm not grinding. I'm not pushing like I should, you know? And when it doesn't feel like enough, that's when we lean into gratitude, you know? After all that kind of stuff that we've just talked about, you know, we've zoomed out, but it's still like, man, the weekly scoreboard is killing us still, and I can't I can't stop thinking I should have done this, I should have done that. Number one, I'll tell you right now, don't shouldn't yourself. You know, I had a coach that had a t-shirts made that said don't shouldn't yourself, or don't shouldn't on yourself, you know, because don't the more you say that, the more you just filling your life full of negativity. You know, make a decision and stick to it. Even if it didn't turn out right, big deal. You'd learn from it, you're going to grow from it, and you're going to become better because of it. But even when it feels like it's not enough, that's when you have to lean into some gratitude. Gratitude has a way of shifting your perspective instantly. Alex Hormozi said, "Happiness comes from progress, but gratitude is what makes progress visible. If you're not taking time to count the wins, big and small, you'll miss them completely." And that's huge. In my life, I really have to like go through some self-reflection, daily, weekly, and kind of think, okay, what went wrong this week? What went right? And we're very easy to bring up what went wrong. So we really have to focus more on what went right and start counting those things, and counting that those wins and those and think of all the things that you're grateful for. You know, it's as small as, hey, I'm thankful for waking up this morning and not feeling sick. I'm waking up this morning and my daughter came up and gave me a big hug and told me she loved me. You know, you got to be thankful for the small things, because there's so much. No matter what's going on in your life, there's always something to be grateful for. So as I close here, guys, here's the takeaway. Stop letting your inner circle run the scoreboard. Redefine what winning means in your life. Don't just count revenue, count moments. Don't just measure speed, measure growth. Don't just focus on what's left undone. Focus on how far you've already gone or come. You're doing better than what you think you're doing. And if you're not where you want to be, gratitude and perspective will give you the fuel to keep going. It's as easy as that, guys. Sometimes we make it so much harder. Sometimes we want it to be harder. You know, we want it to be so hard on ourselves, though when we actually do it, then we can give ourselves permission, because we had such a hard week of grinding, and then we can give ourselves permission to look back and be like, wow, I really did a lot. And some of us, you know, I don't want to go too much on a tangent here, but some of us think just because we physically worked hard, we're physically tired by the end of the day or the end of the week, that we have accomplished so much. But if you're the owner of the business, most of the time, if you're physically working that hard and you've owned your business for a while, you should have systems in place so you're not doing that. So you should be working on sales, standard operating procedures, employee operating systems, all those kind of things. It's going to help your business run smoother, so you are in the long run making more money and helping your company become healthier and better, and helping you feel more fulfilled at the end of the day. So we have to kind of think of different wins as we grow our companies. So be happy, guys. Be grateful and find opportunities to serve others. Have a great day. Have a great week. Adios. That's it for today's Idaho Business Podcast. Hopefully you learned something new. And if you didn't, I've got a cheat code for you. Go to theidahobusinesspodcast.com, enter your email, and get my 20 golden rules for business. It's packed with my best advice, plus it's free. Subscribe, leave a review, share this with a friend. Until next time, keep hustling, keep laughing, and keep Idaho awesome.